In the midst of towering mountains and lush forests lived a herd of deer. Among them was a majestic deer king. His coat was adorned with a kaleidoscope of colors, and his antlers ignited envy in all who laid eyes upon them. One day, a king and his ministers went on a hunting trip. As they pursued their prey, the woods resounded with the twang of bowstrings and the tumultuous flurry of fleeing deer. After hunting, the king returned to his palace, leaving behind a haunting chorus of grief, mothers wailing for their children and orphan fawns calling out for their parents. There were deer carcasses everywhere. Failing to protect the herd, the deer king was filled with pain. Each lost life felt like an anchor dragging him down, compelling him to take action. And so he left the woods and went to see the king. Upon entering the palace, he lowered himself before the majestic throne. With tears trickling down his cheeks, the deer king expressed his gratitude for the privilege of living in the kingdom and acknowledged the necessity of contributing to the kingdom's sustenance. Then he implored the king to communicate how many deer the kingdom needed on a daily basis. This way, the deer could willingly offer themselves instead of being hunted down. The king listened and told him that a deer a day would suffice. With that, the deer king made his way back home. Upon the return of the deer king, his fellow deer gathered together to hear him speak. The deer king explained that the herd's survival hinged upon the willingness of each member to make voluntary sacrifices, and that they shouldn't be afraid of death, as it is merely the circle of life. From then on, each day a deer would bid farewell to the herd and come forward to the king for one last time before embracing their fate. The deer king would say, "Your time has come. Face it with peace and ease, and remember not to harbor resentment towards the king." As days went by, it was the turn for a pregnant doe to go, but she wondered if she could postpone her sacrifice until after giving birth. The deer king thus turned to the next deer in line to see if it could take her place, but he refused, hoping to live for just another day. Hearing that, the deer king knew what he had to do. He went straight to the palace kitchen, where the chef was bewildered by his appearance. The unusual event was reported to the king, who questioned if the deer offerings had come to an end. The deer king shook his head and proceeded to share the story of the mother deer and the next deer in line, who both yearned for extra time to live, so he decided to come in their place. As the king listened, he felt a stirring within his heart. He never knew that animals could possess the virtue of benevolence. Touched and humbled, the king deeply regretted his actions. To rectify his mistake, the king decided to issue a decree, putting an end to all hunting in his kingdom. Respect all lives, for we were all created equal.